And welcome back to the next episode of Emrae, a Dungeons & Dragons campaign in a world of my own design. With us, as always, is our good friend Jindorm Draprax, our Dragonborn Sorcerer, a.k.a. Zach, Leganor, the human fighter-mostly bard, a.k.a. Chewing Jeff, and Wallace Stoneguard, our human tanky boy detective fighter, a.k.a. Mike, who is a Vulcan still.
Masticating live on webcam.
I'm just trying to tell the world I want them to live long and prosper. It happens to be Vulcan.
So, for those of you just joining us, a lot's happened, so go watch the old episodes. For those of you who've been with us since the previous episode, you know why there are all these flames on screen. So yeah, the last episode saw us with a bit of an ambush in the woods as the party tried to circumnavigate or circumvent the bandit camp. However, they were discovered, they were fired upon, and after a skirmish in the woods,
and then returned.
they decided that it was barbecue time, and Jin fired a fireball into the all-wooden structured camp, which set most of it ablaze, and now we're seeing bandits scurry up the walls as they flee the flames.
And then he sent a second one.
And we have snipers also firing down from the guard towers, although I'm not sure what the status of them were. As I remember last.
Fairly confident we had picked off one tower and the other tower had exploded.
Ah, yes, one of the towers is most assuredly engulfed in flames. We've had 2 fireballs fired because level 3 spells are super fun. I believe it either is or was Swift's turn.
Is because I remember specifically telling. Or I should say, Wallace ended up specifically telling Swift to go get.
Yes, that's correct.
One of the Scooby Crew.
Oh yeah, one of the mystery team has run off into the woods. So we will begin with Swift heeding said order, and let me make sure.
Oh, the cat listens to me. That's good to know.
Perfect. Swift has definitely enough movement. He dashes off in the direction, grabs hold of Shag or whichever one that was. By his pantaloons, and starts dragging him back towards the party. Maybe manage to stumble him 15 feet or so before he runs out of turn.
I suppose that would be somewhat intimidating to be like, I'm running away for my own safety. Oh my god, the cat!
I mean, the cat that he's just spent the last, 4 weeks with.
Not the nitpick. Is
Still
there
charging
any
at full
chance that-
speed is a different thing than, being a...
What are the odds that Swift is smart enough to calculate a trajectory and say, I should run diagonally ahead rather than... can he just start running off map, basically, to simplify things, or do you want to keep him on screen?
What?
Okay, so if you see where everyone in the party is, they're going to start marching south or straight up on the map. And
so Wallace said, go get him. So Swift is going to get him.
Oh, so he's fetching back to where the party is right now instead of... Okay.
However, Swift chose to interpret those words.
Yeah.
I don't speak cat.
Yeah. Swift,
although animal handling is something I have.
Swift is heeding the go get him command.
Gotcha.
And with that, we move on to... Let me move this over to a better screen. There we go. Now I can see much better. With that, we move on to the baddies' turn. So let's see. What do you see of this? Probably not a heck of a lot.
Oh, I appreciate you changing my token, by the way.
Yeah, man. I pay attention.
Thank you.
These guys are going to run to here.
Much easier to see them on the map.
You can probably run to here. These guys are going to run to here.
Hero Forge's token thing is working now, which is fantastic.
Yeah. They're going to make it to there. This guy is going to run to here. We can probably go a little further than that.
Are we supposed to be able to see these 4?
What you can see, you can see.
Okay, so there's 4 coming. Or at least somebody can see them.
This guy's going to scurry down and start a running and probably make it to here. Dun. So, let's see. What did you see? Let me switch over back to your little token here. Yeah, perfect. So I guess they're probably more like this. Okay. So yeah, you see, what you see are a bunch of bandit garb-clad boys running in this direction, coming from this direction, as they seemingly attempt to escape the ever-spreading flames inside of the camp, which is now very much en fuego.
Which is some remotely distant language that we all think we know. I'm not sure. What sounded like a rock just now?
That was weird.
All right. And that brings up Farah's turn.
Oh. She is sad that there's nothing else to smash. Gosh, what would she do? Well, I asked everybody to grab somebody and go, so I think she would simply move over to, I don't know. Oh, who's the guy? One of the people was.
He was
Sparkles
down.
Is carrying.
Yeah.
Sparkles is carrying one. Is this Mortimer? No, Mortimer's.
This is Mortimer.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I think she's just gonna grab Mortimer and start running.
Sure.
Like, this isn't fun anymore. We're just leaving.
Just have her make an athletics check, making sure she doesn't make any mistakes.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, and then she just drags him over
Yeah, just move her to where she's going, and I'll drag him with you.
What did we discover last time?
As you're dragging, right click will set a point along the way.
Okay.
Still,
She can actually go off the map. One more, but that works. Yeah. Okay.
On his turn, he just goes with her. Kales.
She's no longer raging. Suppose I should have a token for that.
Truth.
He's muted and not here.
Oh yeah. I'll run Kales, no problem.
I'm here. Is it my turn?
It's Kales. I'm the DM. I got it. It's good. Yeah, so Kales, seeing her sister, is going to do the same and grab hold of this lady here and say, "Run, quickly!" And she's going to run up to this way and drag her in tow. Rolfo.
Yeah, Rolfo's probably just going to be like, all right, everybody, keep on moving. I'm going to take up the back here and make sure nobody's coming after us. So he'll follow, but in the back end, kind of just guarding the rear.
Sure, so I'll move him to here. Now it is actually Legonor's turn.
Okay, so let me turn on video. Checking one thing. I know what I want to do. I just want to make sure I can do it.
I know what you're trying to do, and I like it.
Okay. With my second use and final third level spell, I'm going to cast Hypnotic Pattern on the 4 that are trying to escape the fort, 120-foot range. Same as before, a 6x6 cube. So Jim, however you want to place that. My preference would be that they're at the very front of the cube, and then anything that's behind them that maybe I can't see might nick them as well. But at the very least,
Would you say is it 30? how much cube?
30-foot cube, so 6 by 6.
10, 20, 30.
So put them in the top left corner, if you will, of that cube.
Okay. So what do I need? What do you need to roll?
It is a wisdom save, which is for me, I believe a DC 14.
Is it each one has? Yeah, each one will have a wisdom save.
Yeah. Let me double check.
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
3 fails, 1 save.
Why don't I see it? Yeah, 14. There it is.
Got it. Yeah. So one of them fails. One of them saves. What are the other? Happens to the other 3?
So they are now mesmerized, in essence.
Basically stuck in a daze.
They are charmed. They have a movement speed of 0, and they're considered incapacitated. The spell ends for an affected creature if it takes any damage, or if someone else uses an action to shake the creature out of its stupor.
Got it. Gotcha. That happens.
Okay.
Sorry, I just
That
realized
was
that
my action.
flames have a skull on the top of them.
Use a bonus action.
Yeah, it's just the graphic that I had.
Wait a second. Let me ask you a question. If I get 2 attacks every round, no, that's the next level.
Yeah, it's not 2 spells. It's 2 attacks.
Okay. So
Take the attack.
I'm gonna stay put right here and kind of be the rear guard, and if anything else tries to come ahead, pick it off. But I'm confident in my abilities to throw in a mobile flourish and double move if I need to. So.
All right, cool. Cool. Then Jin, that's your turn.
Yeah. So let's see who's near me here. Who's that next to me? Is that? Oh, that's one of the gang. All right. So then. Oh, your token looks different. I'm looking for you, Wallace. That I see up there. All right. So I kind of walk up to Wallace. I'm like, "Yo, bro, hold me back. I'm gonna throw this another fireball." I prepare the fireball. I bring it up in my hand.
Sparkles, no, we're going. It's on fire.
No, I can throw it. I can throw it.
That was my 6 seconds. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, at that point, I just clench it up and keep following. I'm just playing, adding a little flavor.
Appreciate it.
grab Fred.
Yeah, basically, I don't really care. Personally, Jin doesn't really. He's kind of, just kind of hanging with Raffle. Like, all right, Raffle, let's go. Like that kind of a vibe going on.
Sounds good. Swift continues heading towards Kales, the boy in tow. And at this point, this guy runs... Hang on 1 second here.
Oh, damn it. I'm nowhere in the turn order again.
Oh, this guy deleted your token, remember?
Yeah, we keep doing this.
Damn, so we skipped your turn.
Oh, shit. Sorry, Mike.
Nah, it's all good. I'm running away. That's all I'm doing. It's not like it has any real consequence.
All right, so just take
a 5.
Take your runaway turn, because you would have gone before Kales anyway.
I mean, I'm going off the map.
Okay.
With, I'm assuming, Velma.
Hang on, I gotta get you back to Swift's turn. Okay. Sure. Fine. So you and Velma are headed off the map. Okay.
I don't know if that would have affected Sparkles at all, but...
So yeah, so this guy... 20... 40...
I'm actually kind of concerned if there's more threats in front of us, because behind us is dealt with and burning.
This guy runs up that way. Those guys are going that way.
Oh.
He runs to there. And we're gonna go over to town. Goes to there. Do. Yeah, move this thing. It's just a lot of things to move.
Jim, so the new joiners, I see two different tokens. Is it safe to assume that the two on the right side or the west side are more heavily armored or something?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
The two other tokens, they look different than the things we were fighting before. Are they wearing heavy armor?
They are a little slightly differently dressed. They look a little thicker, bigger, beefier, so to speak. Oop, that shouldn't move there. That should still be here. But yeah, you see more people flooding out of the gate. You can't really see the other gate.
No, I just see everything on fire.
There's quite a bit of fire.
There's a pillar of smoke coming from this place right now.
Let me spread some more flames. This is now like this.
What the? Who is this guy? He
What?
looks pissed. I'm just one of the new tokens toward the next to the tower.
Oh yeah, he's unhappy. Okay, so that's all they're able to do during their time. We move on to Farah.
Running off the map.
Okay, at this point, it's safe to say that you have escaped harm, and you flee north into the woods, so we can stop initiative at this point. You gather your party, and all of you flee into the south. You're right, into the woods, leaving a hot, glowy, smoky, smoldering, screaming mess behind you. So, combat is for the time being over. I will let you dictate in an RP standpoint what your plan is in course of action.
I'm not going to... If anybody tries to stop, Wallace is going to tell him, no, keep going. We're not... Give us, we got to keep running for at least a good 15 minutes before we can stop. Because I just want to get away. And then at this point, and then while we're running, if I get the chance, Callus, can you make sure there's anything we're doing that can you make us, I don't know, go fast without leaving very obvious tracks to people can follow us?
It will be difficult in the soft mud. Because
you got recommendations, I'm all ears.
Recall that it was recently torrential downpouring, and
yeah.
So you know there's a lot. You're definitely leaving muddy tracks. We can move silently or quickly. It'll be difficult to move this many both.
Yeah, speed. I think speed's our best option.
Agreed. And she runs past you.
Yeah, all right. Just keep dragging. So yeah, no. I mean, my run for the day, to the point of exhaustion if necessary. If we're all run,
so that's your plan.
That's Wallace's plan.
Sure. Laganor?
Get to the road at least.
So I'm gonna flirt with being on the edge of needing to roll initiative with what I'm doing. I want to hang back and try to keep eyes on the closest approaching band, anything that would be within line of sight. Or rather, if anything approaches that I can see, as the group continues farther south, then I'm going to start to veer off, say, southeast, and try to lead them off our trail for a bit. And then I can cast invisibility on myself to hopefully like get them going the wrong way, disappear, and then run back to where I think the main group is going. And I know that's not an automatic thing, but
Sure. So roll a perception check.
okay. Perception.
So, you continue to look over your shoulder back towards where everyone was running from, and don't seem to notice anyone as if you're being followed.
Okay. Let's see something real quick. Okay. How close is the nearest party member to me? Assuming that I'm trying intentionally to hang back as far as possible.
Well, you tell me. How much distance would you give them?
I would want to try to stay within range of being able to use the message cantrip, so I could
So
call ahead.
what's the range on message?
120 feet.
So you're never more than 120 feet away from Rolfo.
Basically, the idea is if I see anything as I'm looking over my shoulder, then immediately say to whoever the nearest person is, keep going, I'll catch up, trying to divert. Something along those lines.
Sure.
Then I would veer off, maybe fire off a shot or two.
Yeah, I get what your plan is.
Okay. So
what I'm saying is, while you're fleeing south, you're hanging back, but you're maintaining at least 120 feet, or at most 120 feet from Rolfo. And after your perception check, you're not noticing anybody following you.
So I'm gonna keep doing that, looking over my shoulder, like still looking, like even if I think I'm not being followed, like this is a good time to
you're continuing to hang back no more than 120 feet.
Okay. So let me know if I ever need to roll anything. Otherwise, that's what I'm doing.
I will certainly do that. Jin, you're up.
Yeah. So realizing that, my health is not quite where I'd like it, I'm like, all right, let's go, bro. Come on, let's go. And then I start moving up south with the rest of the crew and kind of finding. I keep losing your token there.
Yeah, you don't have to really look at the token anymore. We're out of combat. You're like you're way south of
way up
this
north
now.
there. So I'm gonna kind of stick near Wallace, be like, bro, I could have taken all of them, but you should just probably keep moving. We should just keep running until we get away from these guys, right? Keep going south. Where'd Leganor go? Looks like he disappeared.
I think thing is taking at the rear. I'm not trying to keep. I'm just trying to keep track of all the. I'm keeping track of most people, but for the most part, I'm just keep moving.
Bro, I don't care. Let's just you, me, Leganor. Let's go. Come on.
What?
Let's go.
Go.
We got a place to be. Away. Meaning, like, kind of hinting it back to
what?
Our buddy.
Not.
I can't. Let's go. You think we can remember this dance?
Not now, Sparkles.
Fine, let's go. Come on, keep moving it. Keep moving south. Go.
Your timing's just keep running, looking around to make sure nobody's heard that conversation, or see if anybody did hear that. Like, what? No.
Let's go. Running.
Get on, Fred.
We're heading south at this point.
I mean, ideally south, then west, because I'm trying to get to the road more than anything else.
All right, so
And we were here, and we need to get here.
Yeah, so in the torrential downpour, I'm gonna draw some stuff here.
Is it raining right now?
No, not at this point.
But it's still wet.
Yeah, but during the torrential downpours, while you are headed this, I wanted freehand. Oh God. Okay, freehand. While you were headed this way, you veered north to higher ground, and that's how you stumbled onto the camp. Then you fled due south to get away from the flames. And after a day or so... Hang on. You fled south to get away from the flames. After a day or so, you get to about here. Ish.
Oh, I wouldn't want to go a day. I mean,
You said
my
all
goal
day. That's what you said to me.
I didn't mean south all day. I meant run all day. I
Oh,
would
okay.
like to
So
run
you-
south for like an hour or two and then head west.
All right.
My
So-
thought is to get to the road.
So that'll
I wanna
put
get
you
to the
after
road.
a day. That'll put you guys about here.
And I'm sure, I don't know if any of the other NPCs have.
Look for some kind of scalable rocky outcropping so tracks aren't as obvious, and then turn due west at that point.
I'd rather just keep speed up, like double timing to the point of like if we're all rolling for exhaustion, then so be it.
Oh.
Kind of thing.
No, I get what you're
Right.
trying to do.
Full court press.
Yeah, like
You're trying to
because
flee.
we're leaving mud, and there's nothing we can do about it because we have like 20 people.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Because
Yeah, you've got a dozen
you
bodies.
get off the rock, there's
We have a dozen bodies, and there's no way they're not tracking us.
Dozen bodies.
What we
Half
can
of
do-
them are students.
this kind
Yeah.
of feels like an outdoors version of the Fellowship running out of Moria.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Kinda.
like there's no Balrog between us and them to hold them off. We just have.
So you say, but
Yeah.
there was a cave that was unexplored.
So literally, the best chance we have is to put as much distance between us as possible, and they're not dragging students.
Hmm.
And by the way, if we lost Sticky, I'm not.
you
Why
did.
does he keep track of him?
You did not lose Sticky. Varen is very much nearby.
Okay.
You hear him say a couple of
So-
times, "Boy, I sure got the adventure that I paid for."
Wallace tactfully ignores that.
So yeah, so you guys are roughly in this area. Come time for it being dark.
Okay.
All of you
Challenge.
roll perception checks. Mike, you just kind of know that you don't see anybody.
I mean, I can understand if you want me to roll anyway, just because we'd all be exhausted at this point. Well, maybe not. It depends, but
I mean,
so
if you roll a 1, then you fail. Otherwise, you
Yeah. fair.
Yeah, I guess there's a 5% chance, but yeah.
Yeah.
So generally, everyone in the party gets
Except
the
for me.
feeling. Actually, everyone gets the feeling except Jin, who's still running. That the coast is clear, and as you slow down to sort of catch your breath, Jin is just taking off to the west.
Sparkles. We need to stop. Somebody, wait, can you?
if he's within range, I'm gonna
As a
message.
fingers, can you get him?
Before he even says that, I'm already. If he's within range, I'm just gonna do it.
Just do it.
I'm running. I'm going.
Stop! Come back!
So yeah, Jin, you look around and you realize that everyone
I
has
realize
stopped
I'm way
running.
ahead. So then I run back.
Okay,
I jog back.
cool.
He's like Hodor, but he can throw fireballs. All right. Gosh, I don't even know. Like, I'm conflicted because there's the part of me that like knows what Mike would do, but doesn't know what Wallace would know any better. It's not like I've spent any time in the woods.
And Jim, I'm still doing the same thing. In fact, I'm going. If I was 120 feet before, then say like I'm willing to go up to like say 600 feet until I can no longer actually see the party. However long I can go until I can't see the party,
Yeah.
and I'm still waiting to see if anyone pursues, because Wallace brought up a very good point about running through mud.
Sure, I get you. So you're standing perimeter watch behind you.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'll get I'll try to get the Wildman and Mortimer together. Like, all right, this is clearly not going to plan. My suggestion, and Callus, if you've got others, please speak up. But my thought is that we don't have a fire, and there's 2 of us on watch the whole night, so that the students can rest, and then in the morning we double time it back to the Sawtooth. Thoughts?
Kellis chimes in. I agree. We certainly must rest before we make it to the Sawtooth, but a silent, dark rest is probably most preferred.
I'm assuming Fingers is out on watch already, and Sparkles are in this conversation.
I would like to sneak in a long rest, but there's 3 watches throughout the night, and I need.
Yeah, you can still get a long rest. Wallace is suggesting that we at least have 2 people on watch every time. So we got 1 Wildman and 1 of us each shift. Is all I'm saying.
To get a long rest, I need to sleep for 1 or 2 of the watches. I forget.
I mean, technically 2.
2.
2. Okay, 2 for long rest. Then I'll take the first watch. Of course.
All right, so I'll look at the Wildman and be like, all right, so want to use with 1 of us each time, and we just keep an eye out, understanding that we left a giant pile of mud behind us, mud trail behind us. Mortimer, can you take care of your peoples and make sure to stay quiet?
Yes, children.
And understand that if we have to get up and run at a moment's notice, that's a thing.
Students, hush now.
And like nobody like spread out. If it's sticky, you don't get comfy because we may have to get up and run at a moment's notice. Do you understand?
Yes, I think I understand the danger that we're in.
Right.
I'm so exhausted from running. Jin is just like, okay. And he just kind of flops down right near, I guess I would be like near the Leganor, and just like kind of flops down and curls up and just goes to sleep.
Rolfo.
Yeah, what's up there?
I mean, I don't know what quite we ended up lighting on fire back there, but do you? I mean, this is actually I'm taking Rolfo aside for this. I mean, if anybody else follows, I'm not going to stop him. But I'm trying to take him aside. Do you think the Sawtooth is safe at this point?
Define safe.
Do you think whatever? I don't know. I guess I'm not.
Here's how I see it.
I guess there's not much else around here besides the Sawtooth. So if they thought like you're running somewhere, that might be the only place we would go.
Here's how I understand it. We got spotted in the woods. We killed everyone that was close enough to recognize our faces. We set fire to the place and we fled. I mean, if somebody was looking for us, they'd probably head to the Sawtooth, but how would they even know what they're looking for? That's how I feel.
Good point. Okay. Thank you, Elfo. I appreciate your thoughts.
Anytime, pal, anytime.
And with that, because Fingers already agreed to take the first watch, I'm going to go get sleep as best I can. Actually, no, I'll go find Fingers if I can, since he just went stealth. Be like, wake me up for the second watch. Damn it, he's gone already. Whatever, sleep.
You get the feeling that somewhere nearby there's a thumbs up in the darkness.
Yeah, I got a feeling that there's a thumbs up. You message me a thumbs up. Like, what?
I can't message you because if I do, you'll inadvertently say something, and then what's the point?
You're not wrong.
An emoji thumbs up, it just pops into your mind.
All right, and then Wallace will crash.
Okay. Jin?
Oh no, I passed out.
Asleep.
Yeah, I'm out.
Oh, okay.
He was the first one to sleep.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
because I had to run back. I was just so exhausted that I just kind of flopped over right near, I guess, where Leganor was, and then just curled up and just right in the mud.
All right. So how many total watches are you guys doing again?
3.
3 watches, and do you have the order of who's taking them?
It's
thing
me, then
is-
Wallace. Not sure who the third is. I imagine Jin at that point, and then one
Yeah,
each of the PCs.
One each of the abilities.
I didn't define which Wildman would be.
Why don't we
Sorry.
do?
They agreed, so
Why don't we pair up in
so
our usual pairs?
let's put Rolfo with me,
Hmm.
Keles with
Third
Thingiz.
with,
Yeah,
third with me, and then
that way Farah's with Sparkles.
Fire Sparkle. Okay.
That's
And
actually-
who
that's a
has
good
first
plan.
watch?
Callus and Legan.
Yeah, Callus and Legonor.
Callus and Legonor. So Callus and Legonor each roll
And Swift.
perception check. Yeah, Swift can make a perception check at advantage as well.
Nice. That's 2 20s.
Damn, son.
Booyah. Ah, yes.
I just need a Callus and a.
That epic.
Jesus.
Oh, come on, roll the Swift. Well,
Okay.
Yeah, the cat.
Yeah. So you guys are so confident that nothing happened.
Well,
That
that's
is useful information in its own.
It's actually a very good feeling because
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be paranoid trying to sleep
Yeah.
through it.
No, you end your watch like they ain't nothing out here. And that brings it to the next watch.
who would that be? Okay.
I guess Wallace and Rolfo.
Yeah,
I'll
roll
roll that. I'll roll that. Where is it? There it is.
Cool. And
The exact same things and don't see the exact same things.
their watch also goes by uneventfully. And lastly, we have Farah and
Oh,
Jin.
no.
Farah don't care.
I feel like that natural one right there for Farah is her looking around and then laughing when she thinks there's nothing there, giving her away of position.
So, Jin, you're sitting on a log or whatever. You're doing your watch. You're walking around. You're making your rounds, and all of a sudden you hear Farah shouting. She says, "Leave my friends alone!" and goes charging off north into the woods.
I imagine that would wake everybody up.
Yeah, everybody hears that.
Oh wait, Dragonborns don't have dark vision. Crap. Oh no, wait, what time would it be? Third watch.
Start
Oh,
of
we
third
didn't-
watch, it would be
Yeah.
like
Maybe Twilight, but
it'd be like
4 in the morning?
start of third watch would be like 3 a.m. in the autumn.
Pitch black. Okay. What phase of the moon are we in?
he has.
I can in
I
fact
know.
tell you that.
I know that. That'll tell me how much I can see.
Stand by. I have to find it. There it is. I have to go to the dock, and then from the dock I have to go to the calendar, and then so it just takes a second.
I don't feel bad about asking.
You shouldn't. I wouldn't have made it if I didn't want to use it.
That's right. Damn thing.
So actually, this would be another day forward. So that would be. It is early morning, Gilam the Fourth of Atoa, and the moon is nearly full. It's a waxing gibbous.
Beautiful. Okay, so we can see at least something.
There's quite a
Yeah,
bit of
you have some moonlight.
Good. Okay. So do I see Farah run off?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
as you wheel around, you see her running off.
Running off to the north, correct? All right. At this point, I will. I guess I have to give chase, but cautiously. Did I get a full rest? Yes, right?
I mean, you'd have to. Yeah, two of the 3 watches makes a full rest. Yeah. Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
long rested.
Okay, good. Okay, so at this point, I cautiously move in the direction that Callis came. I check to be sure, or excuse me, not Callis, Farah, that she ran. I check to be sure that Wallace and Leganor are awake at that point, and I let them know. I say, guys, look, she ran off that way. I'm gonna follow her. I ready a spell. Can I ready a spell and move if we're not in combat? Basically, like.
What do you mean by
You-
ready a spell?
So mechanically, if you are readying a spell, you are going to burn it whether or not you actually use it, because it means.
Cantrip. So
Yeah.
I would have like a firebolt in my hand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't need to
ready.
ready it. You can just cast it when you see a target.
Because that's for combat, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then I basically I move cautiously north. I be sure that you guys are awake, and I move off in the direction that Farah ran. But I am ready to fire.
So as you're running north, you hear a grunt with a familiar husky female voice, and you hear a sharp, painful sounding thwack sound. And then you hear angry yelling.
I cautiously approach the ruckus.
What are the rest of you guys doing?
Following. As soon as
I am making sure that the Scooby crew don't scatter, and I'm staying near them.
Okay.
Like, don't stay. Just
Good. So Jin, as you approach and you catch up to Farah, she has buried her maul in the side of a huge stump.
The fireball that was like formed in my hand, I just and then walk back. I guess I got it. False alarm. She fought a stump.
And she's
did she kill it?
she's grunting and exerting and trying to give me my hammer back, you tree.
Wait, so there's nothing?
There is nothing. There is just a stump that she attacked. You may relax.
It was shaped like a man.
I look at Farah and say, "Really, Farah? I mean, what did you think you saw?"
Well, before I smashed it, it looked like a person.
Is this stump like completely encased in shadow, or what?
At that point, I look up at the moon.
It was far away. Better I smash a stump than let a real person smash your skulls.
Of course, Farah. Better safe than sorry, but we've made a lot of noise out here now.
I find a post back near the group, and I just sit down and continue my watch.
And with that, she frees her maul and sulks back to the campfire, embarrassed. Well, not the campfire, but the camp.
The camp, yeah. Alright, everybody get... What is it? Everybody get another hour of sleep.
You try to sleep, but it's difficult. Because your adrenaline's all up.
Mechanically, the rest of us did not get a long rest, right?
So yeah, this woke anyone who didn't get 2 rests in already.
Which would be just... Well, so that would really be... So that's the 4
Jin and Farah were the only ones that long rested, basically.
Yeah, well, that and all the civilians.
Yeah, everyone has short rest, but the 4 people who took the first 2 watches only got short rest.
Thankfully, that puts me... I'm fine, personally.
But
Okay.
Jin, you and Farah had full rest, so you get your health back.
Yeah.
No, Farah was fine anyway. Oh, she gets her rage.
Was Rolfo didn't lose any health,
Yeah, but you would get no spells back.
but he's good. Yeah, he's
No, it's the callus is the one I have to worry about.
Yeah.
She probably.
Callus could probably consume hit die during a short rest. That would probably be something she would do.
Where's she at? Oh, so roll.
So you roll however many hit dice are available.
What's a ranger's hit dice? Is it D10 or D8?
I think
Should be a
you can just click hit dice on the sheet.
Yeah, but it's set to D4, and that's not correct.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's
Unless I
wrong in
can't
all
see
of
the-
3rd edition or 5th edition.
That-
Nothing has a D4 on the hit dice for 5th edition.
No, it says D10 right next to it.
I just changed it to D10. That's why I just double checked.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Everybody's scaled up in 5th edition. Anyway.
I
So yeah,
gotta
she
go.
can
It's gonna run the
she
baby
can
monitor
consume
upstairs.
up to 5 of those to get health back.
So /roll.
Yeah, you just click hit dice
In the character sheet?
in the little box.
Oof.
9. So all 5. Okay.
Well, yeah, you roll 2 1s, damn.
10, 19, 25. That puts her at 40?
Yes. So almost full.
Got it. So on a long rest, you get half your max hit dice back.
Did Swift take damage in the last fight?
Swift.
Because he only has 28 hit points, so it would be.
I can tell you in just a second. I just gotta head back to the other map.
I too will consume hit dice, and I think
Alright, so.
D.
I realize I'm metagaming here, but Sparkles has got his spells back, but Fingers does not. Okay.
I still got some. I'm not toothless. I'm just my big crowd control is gone, but I can still. Anyway, Jim, mechanically, since I'm a 5/1 bard fighter and I have 6 total hit dice, does that mean if I roll those hit dice, one of them I would roll per the fighter level at a D10, and then the others as a D8, or are they all D8s?
That is an excellent question. I believe each hit dice would be the value of the level you put into it.
Okay, fighter's D10, not D12, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
The only class that's D12 is a barbarian.
Let me see here. What hit dice do multi-class characters spend? Okay, here we go. I have a multi-class character, level 1 monk, levels 2 to 4 wizard. What hit dice would I roll for healing? You add together the hit dice granted by all your classes to form your pool of hit dice. If you are a paladin 5, cleric 5, you have 5 d10 and 5 d8. So yeah, you have 1 fighter hit die and the rest are bard hit die.
So I used 1 fighter and 1 bard. I'm back up to full.
Cool.
That is, in fact, how that works. Nice. Which makes sense.
Learn something new every day. Hadn't actually come across that before.
Well, so few people multi-class. Especially in 5e, where, like, the level 20 skills are usually huge, and you can't get them if you multi-class.
It actually, that's why Bard's so good at it, because
their level 20 is garbage.
Yeah, everything else until that point is great, but so it kind of works out pretty well. You can even do the same, like, there's some, I read about a build where it says take 1 level of sorcerer when you get to really high level, because you still get your 9th level spells, but then you can use your sorcerer level to attune to really powerful magic items.
Sure.
Mm.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Wait, people get to level 20?
Yeah, I mean, some people.
Weird.
Some people do. You guys might if we keep going.
That would be nice.
You know, that's very plausible, especially if we keep, rating it up.
I don't think I've ever had a character get past 12.
I've never had a character over 9, and it only hit 9, and I never played again. And that was in AD&D.
Way back when. All right.
Anyhoozle.
Okay, so it's morning.
So it's morning. You guys, in fact, were not followed and did not get ambushed. You're a little groggy because of the interrupted sleep, but generally feel okay. And now you tell me.
So we're effectively awake and breaking camp.
Yeah, so you're right here in the morning, ready to rock and roll.
So it looks like we're equidistant from the Sawtooth versus our real goal, right? Which
So yeah,
about
the wild men and the scholars are all headed here. Your charge from Sturgis will send you back to here at some point.
right. So from where we are right now, it would be a day's travel in either direction to get to one or the other.
I'm gonna call
Is
it,
that
yeah,
accurate?
I'll call it one day in either direction.
Okay.
Because you have the benefit of
But
the
that's thinking
roads
out
and the
loud.
paths and knowing where you're going. And
Boy, I sure can't wait to get back, have a nice hot meal, maybe play a little music.
yeah, let me tell you, I've never been looking forward to the Sawtooth in all my days, and I spend most of my days there when I'm not out and about. But, whew, I could really use my feather bed right about now, I'll tell you.
Those wounds are still, they're healed, but I don't know if they'll ever be the same.
Really? I look fine.
Are they completely healed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No scars or anything. Wow.
Well, I mean, you don't really get cut. You just got
Well, withered.
you got
like
cursed,
aged.
and then the curse was cured.
It's the
I thought it'd
psychological.
be kind of cool to have like a weird scarred hand shaped, right?
Like a drawn out hand, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like an Urukai hand, but in
Yeah.
wilted flesh.
Yeah, that's right.
All right,
For people.
flip a coin.
Okay.
On a 1, you have a 6 scar, and on a 0, it was healed completely, or a 2, it was healed completely.
Heal completely.
All right. No
Can I
no
use
chance.
inspiration to roll it?
No chance for cool story.
You should see the other.
No one will ever believe you.
I got claws. You want me to help you out a little bit?
It's not the same, really. It's then people just know.
All right.
Because what you want is a memory of a thing that jumped out of a casket. That's a positive thought.
I would want to remember that for the next time that we're not. I'm not saying this out loud, but the next time that we're pilfering ancient relics.
Yeah.
The next
Look
time.
over your shoulder, dummy.
Yeah, because that's something we're gonna forget anytime soon. Start walking.
So where you guys are just going with the party back to the Sawtooth? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, your day's travel is relatively unhindered. You're back in familiar
Yay.
territory, and you make it back to the area of the Sawtooth, which,
Huzzah.
if you remember, looks like this.
Dun, 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 dun.
I feel like you remember when you do the long 5-mile hike at Yagu heat, and then you finally get back to your campground, and it's just the water, wind,
Yeah.
trees. Really,
Feels
Was that-
good.
Was that boat there before?
Yeah.
Okay.
or was it?
Yeah. No, I haven't changed this map.
I genuinely don't remember water, but anyway.
This is the exact same map. I've changed
I
nothing.
believe you. I just. Oh, you know what? It may have been dynamic lighting last time because I never went around back. Anyway. All right. Go in. So yeah, I mean,
So yeah, so everybody makes it here.
wait. Oh, son of a gun. Well, it's too late now, I guess. Actually, no. I would have
gave
just
you guys
trusted.
so many opportunities.
Yeah, no, I get it. It occurred to me that I was entirely leaving getting the dance off of Fred to Fingers, and like Wallace has literally never had a conversation about it.
Oh
so
crap!
I'm never,
I've zoomed out instead of the map. I zoomed out of Chrome proper, so I can't read anything.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Yep. Sorry.
Okay.
I started at the top of the map and didn't like move all the way down. I was looking at that like boat / like wood mill thing, and I'm like, that doesn't look like the manor I remember.
Oh,
I
yeah.
need to move down. That's
The
why.
map's
The
bigger.
map looks more like it. There we go.
It's a big map.
Yeah, I think because of dynamic lighting, I never actually looked behind the
Gotcha.
sawtooth. But anyway,
All right, so you guys make it back to the sawtooth. Everybody kind of, as soon as they see the smoke from the chimney, the pace picks up, and everyone's like, "I can't wait to drink a beer and eat a meal and sleep in a bed and not have my feet wet." And yeah,
couldn't
everybody,
agree more.
the morale is high, spirits are lifted. Even Varen is like actually having a joke every now and again. You approach the doors. Farah is in the front and bursts in and sees. God, I forgot his name. Sees the guy whose name is something. Sveth Jerkson. He sees Sveth Jerkson and says, "Ah, Sveth! Ale! You know what I like! Ha ha!" Sveth's smiling, keen face behind the bar says, "Oh, looks like you made it back then. Welcome back, me friends."
The usual.
"I say, Rolfo, you look a bit more worse for the wear than usual." "Yeah, well, this wasn't exactly our standard trip. I'll tell you all about it after I get something in my stomach. Where's my meal?" "Oh, a bit demanding, aren't we today? You just walk through the door. But I'll get you sorted out right away. Everyone have a seat. We'll get you all taken care of. Love to hear the tale. Regale me with a tale."
I will plop myself in the same chair I was in last time.
All right. So
That's
yeah,
better. Just sink into it. Sit.
you guys plop down in your usual seats, hanging out in the sawtooth. Sveth brings out deliciousness.
I can't get inside. The door's locked.
That's not the
Knock,
door.
knock.
Door's on the bottom.
Oh, like it's cut off for me. That's weird. Hold on.
I'm putting my feet up on the table because it's been a lot of walking.
Oh, muddy shoes. It's my fingers. Come on. Be respectful of the establishment. I understand you're tired.
I use prestidigitation to clean his boots.
Oh. Thank you. Goodbye, you're around.
You two troublemakers.
You just chuckle and order a beer.
I already said the usual, so I'm waiting.
Yeah, the whole like you get the sense that Sveth has a sort of standard operating procedure for whenever the wild men return, based on their sort of japes and jibes back and forth. He comes out with a buffet of meats and hard cheeses and breads, ales and wines, and just kind of, it's like the standard welcome wagon, which strikes you, Leganor, as odd, because like he's just an innkeeper. Why would he go through all the trouble just because some regular customer came back?
Yeah, Jin does not care. He just starts eating.
I was gonna ask.
You're saying that I'm paying
we
special
can we
attention to the fact that he's
I just
looking
read it.
at
I don't ask.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't look like it was set aside for anybody. It's served for all of you.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't even question it.
Like I'm already eating, and I see he walks over like, "Hey, can we have?"
It's like when you've already taken 2 mouthfuls and then your dad's like, "Can we say grace?"
Yeah.
You're like,
Well, I guess what I'm asking is everyone eating from the same source of food? Does it look like?
No.
Like, is there-
I said buffet, but it was like there were plates brought out to everybody.
Oh, okay.
I meant more like a feast, a smorgasbord. There's you guys are well tucked.
Okay. Well, I dig in. I'm starving.
Yeah, and you also notice a fair lady playing the sitar on the stage.
Oh, Norwegian wood.
What time it's? Oh, I guess we got there at the end of the day, right? It's like
Yeah. It was a whole day. You woke up in the morning, took a day's ride, got in there in the evening.
Where are our charges?
They're all in there too. I know you don't have tokens for them, but everybody is there. A couple of them. No, at this hour, everyone is still they're regaling stories. There's other people besides just you in the bar because it is
I was say if
evening
it's
after
nighttime,
work.
the place is probably full now because we just doubled the capacity.
Place
of
is
the place.
quite full. It's very boisterous. The lady playing the sitar is stepping up the tempo and playing some really cool music.
All right. While we're stuffing our faces and there's music, so that's good. I'll try to lean across to fingers. Don't forget, we still need to get something before we leave. Yeah.
That's exactly what I do. I just clear my throat, like, shut up.
That's all. Yeah. That acknowledged. Just.
After a short while, Jin noticed. Well, you all notice. Rolfo gets up. He chit chats with Sveth for a bit. He's sitting at the bar. He stands up. He walks over to Mortimer. And he have a few words. And there's an exchange. Mortimer hands him like a big leather satchel. And then Rolfo takes it over to Farah and Callis, and they look in the satchel, and they start divvying up its contents. And then he...
What are its contents?
It doesn't, I mean, can't really tell. I think you could make assumptions, but you can't really see it from your position unless you were to walk over there. But before you get the opportunity to, he comes over to your table, and he sits down and says, well, I gotta say, your methods may be a bit unorthodox, but you certainly carry yourself well in a mummy fight.
Right back at you, bud.
As far as I can tell, you're
So many of those out there to help.
You're welcome to share a commission with it. Well, hang on, let me rephrase that. You're welcome to your own commission on any job we're hired for.
It's been a pleasure working with you, Wolfo.
I give him a big
Absolutely.
slap on the back. Like, all right, buddy, nice.
You're such a tall thing.
I say to him in Gnomish, name the place and time, and we'll be there.
He says to you back in Gnomish, interesting Gnomish saying to the effect of, some known common, like, may the wind ever be at your back type saying.
Fair winds and following seas.
Yeah, but, Gnomish version for a guy who lives in the woods.
This is not the greatest song in the world, it's just a tribute.
Yeah. Right.
May the hair of your toes keep you warm and nimble.
Right. May your feet stay warm and your nose stay dry.
Excellent.
Okay.
Which student suddenly developed the infatuation with the bard? I forget. Was it Wilma?
That was Velma, if memory
That was
serves.
Velma.
Oh, it was.
And ale is flowing generously at this point, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh dear.
That is accurate. But, she's surrounded by her friends, and she's regaling tales of having been on this crazy adventure she's never been on before. And, you notice her enjoying the sitar music. She's like, she's the nerd of the group, so she's not really into the drinking game. She's just enjoying the music. She's kind of a wallflower.
Do we know who has the dance that we need?
Fred, I think.
It's Fred, right? Okay.
I don't know if you can see this, Jeff, but Wallace is shaking his head. Or nodding his head.
At this point, I'm going to spend the rest of the evening to actually slow down a bit on the drinking, like just kind of keep nursing the same cup of ale. And all I'm really trying to do is to see when and where Fred heads off. Because we would know which rooms they're all staying in, would we?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. They don't show any signs of slowing down. I mean, your adrenaline-ridden junkies regaling
Jin is
your
Jin
tales
is
of your
drinking.
adventures. There's a bunch of college kids who just got back from a 2-week event, a 4-week, a 4-week excursion, safe and sound, lived to tell the tale. In fact, was Fred the one that got killed and revived? Like, he's got battle scars to show
Oh, he
the
was.
ladies.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, it was
Yes, yes, he was.
Yeah, so he's
What?
like, look what happened to me, and I'm fine. I'm so blah, 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 beer pong, yeah. Like, he's being that
Jaeger
guy.
bombs. Jaeger bombs.
Yeah,
Jaeger bombs.
he's having a great time and enjoying all the attention of Daphne and other local ladies.
So Jin is drinking heavily at this point. He's rather intoxicated, and he stumbles over to Fred. Like, oh, bro, you were dead, man. You were dead.
Dude, I was dead. Man, I was so dead, and then I wasn't dead, and now I'm still alive.
Bro, you were so dead, man. That was so cool, bro. Listen, bro. Yo, we should hang out. We should hang out.
Oh, yeah, we should chill. Daphne, this guy is the coolest guy. I had never seen anybody with scales instead of skin, but then I met this guy, and you should see the fire. It's just like, he railed up, and then it's like, fireball, it's like, shah! It's just, wah! There's a crackle, it's like, wah!
I use prestidigitation to make like the largest fireball that the cantrip can form, just like in my hand.
Ah! Yeah, it was like that, dude. It was like crazy.
But as he's doing this, he's like, bro. So listen, you. What did you learn from that trip, man? What do you got? What did you learn back there? Do you like that place? What did you think?
I can't wait to go back with all my tools. I'm gonna be in a flippin' textbook, man. They're gonna tell stories of Fred Widmer and the amazing discoveries of the Eurolites. People like 50 years from now, they're gonna be like, who discovered the Eurolite dances? And right there in print's gonna be like, Fred.
Yo, that's right, the dances. Remember when we did that dance and the thing happened? Yo, don't you have one of those dances, man? Let's do it. Let's do one of those dances.
Oh man, you just do dancing. I want to do one of the dances. Hearing this, Mortimer comes over and says, "Let's not be doing too much of that in the building, please. Remember what happened last time?
Yeah, eyeing fingers.
You may, in fact, Fred, I think you might have had enough for the evening." He takes the beer from Fred, seeing how inebriated he is, and what wonderful ideas that Jin is planting in his head. And says, "I think we've all had quite enough adventure for 1 month. Perhaps you should all head on to bed now. We can talk more in the morning. We have a long way back to Gaspar now." Daphne's like, "That's true. We have a long drive." And she she carries Fred's arm and like carries his stumbling body up the steps. The whole while Fred's just looking over his shoulder at Eugene like, "Fireman, you're the fireman! Fireman! You're the fireman!"
He goes by Sparkles.
So at this point, I as Fred's looking over his shoulder, I'm like offering him another beer, trying to get him to come back.
He is not. He's being led by Daphne. He does not return.
Yeah, right. Well, there goes my plan.
Well, with the exception of Mortimer, I think I'm the oldest one here, so...
I think I still have a few years on you yet.
How old is Wallace again?
Like 38, almost 40.
Yeah, Mortimer's like 58.
Yeah, no, Mortimer's way older than Wallace, but it's like, all right, my legs are tired, and this is helping me sleep, so leave you to it. Pat fingers on the shoulder and like nod.
So if Fred and Daphne and maybe a couple others are heading upstairs by this point?
So Daphne picked up on Mortimer's hint and is escorting drunk Fred to bed.
Okay. Then as I see that, I'll casually stretch and finish the rest of my beer. That's basically just one little sip, and then ever so gracefully and non-suspiciously go upstairs to my room,
Well,
keeping an eye on where they go.
You and I are going up at the same time then, because I'm just going. Wallace is just going to bed.
All right. So as you both approach the stairs, Farah gets up and walks and intercepts Wallace. And she's like, "Ha ha! You carry yourself well for a short man.
Thank you, milady.
Where are you going? The beer's flowing, and I am rhyming. Check out my timing."
For you, my giant friend, I can have another. Then I'll again pat fingers on the shoulder and take her, like, move her away, move with her to the bar.
Yes, another. She like drags you, spilling whatever's in your mug, to the bar and says, "Smith, Wallace will keep pace with me tonight. I am setting his pace. You will fill us both up." She like slaps her arm around your shoulders. "Come, my small friend, you will drink with me."
And as soon as I see this, I kind of one of those like, oh, he's about to get mauled, and keep going upstairs.
Was that a message?
No.
Okay. This is gonna be like one of those days back in boot camp. This is gonna be a thing. Wallace steals himself for the night ahead of him.
Yeah, so Sveth pours you both big tankards, matching Farah's sized tankard. She clinks your glass and upends it, puts it back on the bar after just a few seconds, and watches you and stares at your tankard like, "Come on."
I got nothing to prove, lady, but let's do this.
Yes!
Yeah.
So that's going to continue for some time. Let's move to Leganor.
Sparkles, you're on your own.
So
I'm just like drinking over a bar.
do I see the door?
All right, so you head up the stairs after Farah grabbed Wallace. As you get to the top of the stairs and around the corner, you see the tail end of Fred, still leaning on Daphne, enter a room.
Okay. Does she close the door immediately, or is it still open and it's like kind of obvious that she's helping her very drunk friend inside?
You can't see that from your angle. You're looking down a hallway.
Okay. Well, I guess my next question is, where is my room relative to that? Is it on the other side of the hallway? Is it next to?
Let me flip over to that map. Let me take a look. Oh, I didn't make the damn second floor. All right, so we're gonna theater of the mind it. So your room is the suite on the far end. So you'd have to pass their room to get to your room.
Oh, so it would be natural for me to go by. Okay.
Not that they know what room is yours anyway, but
Sure. Okay, so then I'm gonna go by just kind of maybe acting like I'm a little more drunk than I actually am. Just kind of walking just as I go by, like, oh, open doorway. Hey guys. What a
so
night, huh?
as you get to the door, it's like they tried to close it but it didn't latch, so it's open a few inches, and you can hear giggling.
And some
Giggling.
applause, perhaps?
Would you say, Jin?
And some applause, perhaps?
No applause, just giggling.
Let me think about this. Is it fairly audible, or is it really like? Do I have to have my ear kind of up to it?
No,
or is it
you
open?
you walk by the door. You see that it's slightly ajar and open, and you hear giggling.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm saying is, could I leave where my room is relative to that door? Could I sit just inside the door frame with my door open a bit and still hear the giggling from their room and see if any like?
Yeah, I mean, if you entered your room and left the door open, you could hear Unless somebody was actively whispering or trying to be quiet, you can hear what's going on.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do then.
Okay.
Basically, I want to wait. Like, it's gonna sound curvy, but wait to
It
see.
sure does. And it plays out just as pervy as you think it should, as you
Okay.
listen to two drunk college kids do what two drunk college kids would do.
Then when it gets to the cacophony, shall we say, I'm going to
I'm not going to contribute to this.
invisibility. I'm going to cast invisibility on myself, and then I'll roll a stealth check if you want. But tiptoes, I would cast silence, but I can't maintain 2 concentrations at once.
Sure.
So invisible and trying to be stealthy, sneak into the room, double check that they're not looking anywhere near the door because it's going to have to move a little bit. And if they're still going at it, then I'm just going to go right to where Fred's backpack is and try to quietly and quickly take out the drawing.
Wait, you're going in while
When else are they going to be any more distracted?
when they're in?
I'm from the streets, man.
He makes a good point.
I'm not here. I'm not.
If you ever need to find a more oblivious to your surroundings period in human time, that's really the best one.
Drunken.
The only crowd control that I have left, because I did not get a long rest, is single target. So it would be,
Sure. So just roll a stealth check for the sound stealth, which I think is advantage because you're invisible. Is that true?
I mean, if anything, I would think it's an advantage because they're technically, I mean, per the game, they're poisoned if they're drunk.
You're saying roll a stealth check though, regardless, right?
You're rolling a stealth check because you always have a chance to trip and fall into the door.
Which silence saved last time.
Wish I could inspire myself, but it is a +9.
Okay.
Wait, would I get to roll again because it's at advantage?
Well, that's what I was asking. Does invisibility give you advantage on stealth checks?
Yeah, the spell description. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the spell offhand.
The creature you touch becomes invisible until the spell ends. Anything the target is wearing or carrying is invisible. The spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell. So it's concentration up to
All right.
an hour.
So the answer is no. Okay, that's fine. You're invisible. You're a stealthy guy. They're very distracted. It's fine. So
and mind you, like I'm watching them too.
Well,
so, like,
you're not watching them because, like I said, the door's ajar. It's not open.
Okay.
So you do have to open the door more to get inside.
Of course, but what I'm saying is, since I'm invisible and I'm not attacking, so that doesn't break invisibility.
You're able to slide the door open quietly. You don't alert anybody audibly of your presence. You see exactly what you expected to see.
I mean, you can probably hear us all downstairs being
no
drunk
one
anyway.
No one is in a position to be looking at the door. In their current position, and you see clothes strewn about, chairs knocked over next to the desk. There is a trunk on the floor. There's all kinds of, traveling equipment, and like both of their backpackers' packs are just kind of dropped haphazardly around. They didn't really tidy up. They just dropped everything and made for it.
Okay. While keeping a very close eye on them, going for what I think is Fred's backpack, if that's something that would be obvious.
Yeah, his was like white with a little blue accent and like a red handkerchief around one of the poles.
It's an ascot.
It's an ascot.
Whereas her backpack was like almost all purple with a little green.
All right. Then, as I said, it's like I'm kind of looking at my own hands, but I am looking up. Like,
I getcha.
Okay. Do you want me to roll anything for that?
So you find the bag you think is his. You're gonna do a sleight of hand to get it open quietly, and a stealth to get its contents out quietly. So yeah, you open the pack no problem, and you're able to extract its contents without issue.
Okay.
One of those contents includes 3 rolled like map scroll tube sort of things, There's 3 of them in there.
I imagine that's the only thing I would want to take from this pack, right? Like,
You tell me.
What do you find in there?
Would you like to know what else is in the pack?
No, I have exactly what I need. I'm looking to get out.
Okay.
And what, like, would I have to keep rolling to find to look through more stuff, or is that all part of the same roll?
It's all part of the same roll.
Oh, well, if I can do it without them seeing me, then yeah, I'll take a quick peek.
Yeah, so also in the pack is a canteen and a pair of boots and a bunch of small clothes and a robe and a vial of writing ink and a quill and additional sheets of parchment. There is a small hip flask. There is a bunch of coins, some copper and some silver. There is a wine skin. There is a
Fred likes his drink.
excuse me, a water skin. I always call them wine skins, but it's for water.
I was gonna say he has wine and a hip flask. He's ready.
There is 2 candles and a belt. There's like an extra leather belt.
Okay. Then I take the case, leave everything else in place, and
All 3 cases.
I thought you said it was.
I said
Are they each in a separate case?
There are 3 of those map scroll cases.
Oh, I thought you meant 3 scrolls in
No.
one case.
Each one has.
Okay.
There's 3 cases.
Okay. Then yes, taking all 3.
Okay. Then it'll be one more. So are you leaving? I guess is the question.
Actually, I'm gonna take those 3 things, and also take anything that I can reasonably and quietly take out as well. So like not the coins because they're
you could
kind
you could reasonably take anything out if you're trying to. You tell me.
Okay, basically, I want to take out a few to several of those items and make it look like if he looks in his bag afterwards, it's not just the scroll case that's missing, it's other stuff. So maybe when he was unconscious on the ground, some of the stuff spilled out and no one bothered to check, and it's all the way back there, and that sucks. Instead
Valid.
of like,
all right, yeah, valid.
Valid.
So you could take the ink vial, the candles, the money, the hip flask, and the parchment.
Anything quiet, not the money.
Okay, so any of the things I said.
Yeah.
What are you taking?
The flask and the ink, and again, anything like the idea is obviously I don't want to take anything that's going to make
you
noise.
to pick, Jeff.
I need you to tell me what you're doing. I'm not going to tell you what you're grabbing. You need to tell me what you're grabbing.
Okay, then the ink vial and the candles and I don't know one other item. I don't remember all the
flask.
I mean, is the flask going to clank up against the ink vial if I'm like taking stuff and kind of?
It might.
Then I don't take so just the candles and the candles, the cases, and the ink vial.
Cases, the candles, and the ink vial. Okay. Please roll another sleight of hand check. All right. As you were very deliberately picking only the quiet items, and you are invisible, and you had decent enough rolls, you were able to grab the 3 scroll cases, the candles, and the ink vial out of the pack. They are now visibly floating away.
Since I know that I'm invisible, I'm not gonna raise up to standing height, so they're just floating in the air in case they look. I'll stay low to the ground, so it's kind of out of like that perfect. I doubt what they're doing in bed right now, unless things are shifting, that they're looking low to the ground near the doorway.
We'll just need one more stealth check to exit quietly. Nice. That's a lot of good enough rolls.
Yeah.
If any of those were under 10, we would have had a problem.
Yeah.
He basically
what? You said
under
something
10
about
would have been bad,
Oh yeah,
but 9, God, because you just rolled 2 threes.
So yeah, your days on the streets prepared you for stealing from mid-coitus couples, and you're able to successfully pilfer these things from the pair.
That's a fun sentence.
And the best part is that Wallace isn't here to have to witness such an event, so he doesn't have to feel bad about it.
Yeah, let's cut back to Wallace. Let's see. All right, so
I'm being very slow and deliberate about this.
the tankard that you drank at the table, the tankard she made you down before we cut away, and 2 additional tankards are now in your belly, in a span of roughly 20 minutes.
Well, thankfully, I just pounded a lot of. My stomach's full of food ahead of time, thankfully. But I know that, like, all right, let's see if I can. At this point, I'm gonna try to. Who went up? Scooby, why don't you come in here and like get the other students in to try to like share the pain? Because
So
I do not want.
You're
I don't want it anymore.
you can say all that, but as you're trying to like turn away from her, she's like, she got you in one of these, and she's like, drink it. So you know you'd have to physically fight her to make that happen.
Can I like? I appreciate the.
I appreciate you. She's getting drunk. She's like, she's double your content at this point.
All right, if she's that drunk, then I'm gonna try to like look over at Sven and be like, "Water," and let the next one be water.
And Sveth is dying laughing. Like, at one point he says, "Oh, you're not the first boy she's taken a liking to. I've seen this story before."
Wait, Sven, how does this night end?
Well, I got 2 words for you, and they both start with snoo. And he walks off, wiping a mug, going.
Oh boy. I mean, I'll keep trying to wave down water, but if beer keeps being put in front of me, I'm just sort of like.
At one point, Rolfo comes by, and you just hear him say something like, "Oh, looks like somebody pulled the short straw."
What? What did Rolfo? What is he? What? I don't know. Good gracious.
Well, that's what you get for being so big and tough. That's why I stay short. And he walks away drinking a little goblet of something fancy.
Jin is at this point very intoxicated. So he'll probably walk up to Wallace and be like, "Yo, bro, yeah," like just kind of give him a quick like, "Yeah, you got this," and then walk over and like to Rolfo and be like, "Yo, bro,
right,
what's up?" Like, trying to impress people all over the place, all over the bar with different prestidigitations.
In lieu of acting anything out in unnecessary detail, I will simply ask you, Mike. We know where this is headed. Are you complacent?
My goal at this point is to try to get her now I'm just trying to get her drunk to the point where she's like.
So you're gonna try to drink her to pass out so that you can escape.
Yes, that is the plan.
I need you to roll.
If I then black out myself and don't
I
remember what happened.
I need you to roll Constitution against her at disadvantage, and you need to succeed 3 times.
Yeah, Mike. Good.
Are we both at disadvantage, or just me?
Just you, because she has the advantage.
You know, if this backfires, she's basically going to throw you over her shoulder and walk upstairs, right?
So I will roll her. I will roll her.
I can see our character sheets, and I can handle a little more than she can.
That's fine.
But you're rolling at disadvantage.
All right. Well, I am.
So
we're fight this.
So,
okay.
Yeah, we're gonna roll 3 times. You're at disadvantage. If you win, it's best of 3. If you win best of 3, then you're able to drink her under the table. So, oh wait, you did it quick. What's happening?
Oh, I was rolling for her. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna roll for her, because you're rolling against me.
Oh, my bad.
So we'll just take your rolls, and I'm gonna roll for her. So you got a 15.
I got 2 wins.
I haven't rolled for her yet. You have a 15 and a 17. I just clicked Constitution instead of Con Save, which is a different number.
Oh, sorry.
So
I mean,
you make one more Con Save disadvantage, and then I will roll her 3, and we'll pair them 1 to 1.
Okay.
Is it a save or just a straight?
It's save. I know I rolled the wrong thing.
I mean, it's one number different between both of us, so it's effectively the same thing.
All right, so you have 15, 17, 12. She has 20, 9, and 12. So you tied your rock, paper, scissors.
Sudden death.
I mean, can I replace that 20 with the 10 that you rolled first? Dude.
Hang on, I want to figure this out. So if she succeeded, you were gonna pass out first, and who knows what would happen. If you succeeded, she was gonna pass out first, and you were gonna be able to escape. So
Yes.
okay, so this is what happens. We'll flip over to Jin.
This is what Jin sees.
Yeah, no. We're just Jin. What are you doing at the moment?
So I'm watching them go, I guess, shot for shot. I guess at this.
Yeah, they're
point-
going tankard for tankard, essentially.
Yeah, essentially shot for shot. Yeah.
She's
So I'm
pounding
watching.
them.
Yeah,
She's
like
pounding them. I'm taking like 10 seconds to drink.
Yeah.
I'm watching this fascinated, like cheering them on, like chug 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 chug.
What
Yeah,
does a dragonborn's tongue look like?
What's that?
What's your tongue look like? Is it like a forked tongue? Like, are you like, like every so often, like, I mean, reptilian.
I am reptilian. I didn't consider his tongue. So
That's something I would
say
just
no.
Google.
I would say no. I would say it's more like a pointed tongue than a.
Just because when you're drunk, you're like,
Yeah. So it's actually lolling out of the side of my mouth, like
Nice.
a dog.
Like Mushu from
Yeah,
Mulan.
exactly. Just like Mushu. So yeah,
So
I
you're
guess
egging them
I'm
on. You're continuing to
just egging
drink.
them on.
So how does your
I'm-
night progress? Do you just pass out in the bar? Do you eventually go back to bed?
I mean, I would probably end up actually throwing up in a bush outside and passing out there.
Okay. So we'll let that play out. You drink so heavily that you go outside to vom, and while you're vomiting, you stumble face first in the dirt and you fall asleep.
That's a-
Jeff, after you steal the stuff, what do you do?
yes. Like, right back into it, exactly where I am. I'm just outside the doorway.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I assume there's no one else in the hallway that I can see.
Nope.
Then quietly go back into my room. Let's see here. Is there a window from my room to the outside?
Yeah, you're on the end of the hall, so there's one window that overlooks the second floor of the outside. So you're here, but on the second floor.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go in invisibly and carrying low to the ground. As soon as I'm in the room and out of sight from anyone outside the room, I'll turn revisible, right? Or just visible.
You'll break the spell. Yeah. Turn visible.
And I will take everything I just took, the cases and the other 3 items, just kind of tuck them on my person, and then casually walk out of the room, downstairs, and mutter something about I gotta go take a leak or whatever.
Sure.
I'm gonna go outside, and then just kind of look for a slightly farther off tree, where basically what I want to do is I want to hide the stuff I just took in case someone notices it in the middle of the night, and then it's not on my person in case we got searched or something. I'm gonna stash it out in the woods.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
So you're looking for like a hollowed out log type dead drop stash location.
Exactly. And I don't mind going a little ways and kind of just.
Yeah,
You know,
you're able to either find or manufacture using nature a suitable hiding place that you feel comfortable with.
So I'll do that and then relieve myself and and then go back to the tavern. I assume I see my good buddy there on the ground.
No, I mean that was the end of his night, so that hasn't happened in your timeline as of yet.
Oh, I see. Then I
still-
will.
You're still seeing us. You're still seeing me and
Yeah, you're
Varric
still seeing the
talk
drinking
here.
contest and him yelling chug, and everybody's having a raucous good time.
There may or may not be music
And
playing.
Yeah,
On the
I
sitar
will
is ding
stage,
ding
nobody's
ding
paying
ding
attention.
ding ding ding.
I will go up to the bar, say thanks again to Sveth.
Well, the
and,
pleasure's mine. Any friend of Rolfo's a friend of mine. Me own.
I'm gonna let these two lovebirds have their fun, and
It's quite a sight to see. When Farah
it's
sticks her meat hooks in some boy, it's hard to get away.
it's funny to see a chrome. It's funny to see a chrome dome turn so red.
Yeah, I would be beaming.
From embarrassment and the alcohol.
The alcohol is hiding the embarrassment.
And then I will head upstairs and get the best, deepest sleep I've had in recent memory.
Wonderful. All right, it is morning. Jeff, you
Wait, what
awaken.
happened?
Jeff.
I gotta go take a leak. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. I thought you did that in the woods.
Well,
He's gotta go act it out now.
Yeah. So we'll go to Jin then. Jin, you awaken to the smell of petrichor and the feel of dew on your cheek as you are face down in the grass next to the building.
No one got him. Uh,
You are rested. You did get a long rest.
I suppose.
Wow.
I suppose people are like, maybe Dragonborns just sleep outside.
And you're clothed, which is a nice surprise.
That's not
You also feel like stronger somehow, like you leveled up or something.
I gotta get drunk more often.
Jeff, you awaken to the gentle sound of birds chirping out of the window, the soft feather bed caressing your tired bones and body.
This is all build up.
Yeah.
Can
Can I be directly under his window?
Damn it. Yes, I was gonna say all this. You awaken, you breathe in the crisp morning air, you open up your window and look down, and you see Jin face down in the dirt at the bottom of your window. And you feel stronger somehow, as if you leveled up overnight.
Do I have a pitcher of water? I assume in my room.
Oh yeah, you're furnished. You just feel
So
great.
I'm gonna take said pitcher and.
So Jin, you're not only dew on your face in the grass, but now it's raining.
I wake up sharply and promptly vomit again.
Luckily, most of the vomit is washed away by the sudden rain.
I'm sure that lizard bile does not smell very good.
And now the rain has stopped. As suddenly as it started. You look up and you see each other. Wallace.
It's just a goofy dragonborn face.
Wallace.
Hey, Jim, you might as well have another.
You wake up
Hair of the dog.
and you feel comfort. It's warm and soft.
I think I know where this
Your
is going. But
your
I'm
your
gonna-
back is really sore and your neck
Yeah.
hurts.
Oh
But
no.
your head is on something so comfortable. And as you gain your bearings, you're laying across two stools on your back, and your head is like there's a stool under your shoulders and a stool under your butt, and that's why your back and neck hurts. But your face is lying in Farah's lap, who is like her back is to the bar, her neck is totally like passed out. But
Oh, we're still downstairs.
yeah, you're still both in the bar. You passed out, and you basically like curled up on the two stools and passed out in her lap as she passed out like this.
So it ended very well for you, actually. What it could have done.
So
you don't have to do the walk of shame.
yeah,
Not
the
alone,
tie
right?
the tie was great. You both passed out simultaneously.
I would like to at this point. I would like to walk into the bar and I
Well,
imagine
hang
I
on,
would see this.
we're still finishing Wallace here.
Oh, I got
So
you.
yeah, so you wake up to those surroundings, and despite being a little embarrassed and taken by surprise, you feel stronger somehow, as if you leveled up overnight.
Softest pillow I'll ever have.
And she's out to the world. It's like snoring, mouth agape.
I will attempt, even though I'm probably still. Well, no, I probably would have taken my armor off at some point, but just like attempting to let her sleep. I'll slowly sit up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to close her mouth, maybe.
super sore.
Is it it's light out? I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's like 7 a.m.
I've walked off worse, and I'll just well, no point going upstairs, and I'll just meander over to my table and just plop back down and patiently wait for service. Even if it's like an hour, I'll just
And that, gentlemen, it will end our session for the day.
Hooray!
Oh, lovely.
Well done, Jim.
That's fun. Fun times. Welcome back to the Sawtooth. So yeah, so you all leveled up.
Yay!
If that wasn't clear.
Yes. I just gotta.
All right. So for those of you watching on the internet, that's going to do it for this session. We will be back on Thursday for episode 14. My goodness, we're having a great old time with this series. As always, I've been your GM Skexxies, aka Jim, and nobody knew who to say goodbye next.
I was going in order you introduced us.
Yeah. So I'm Zach. Jin says goodnight.
I'm Leganor, and saying goodnight.
And Wallace just woke up, but live long and prosper and all that.
Fun times. All right. Goodbye, the internet.